Okay, I've been getting a lot of emails on how to prime these filters and install them. These are the arsenic fluoride filters. Not only do they filter out the fluoride and the arsenic, but all the heavy metals from the water. This is for the Berkey water system. So if you already have the Berkey water system, this is an add-on to the black filters that you might have. So notice that the water flow is going from the fat end to the skinny end. And what we're going to do is, just don't forget, big end, small end. Trying to do this very carefully here. Now you'll notice now that you have a filter. Okay, what you want to do is you're going to take off the blue end caps, and I'll see you in the sink. We're going to be actually sticking this camera in that sink right there. Okay, so I brought you to one sink. I want to show you what we're going to do. So first of all, remove both blue end caps. Okay, now this is what comes with the filters. The trick of this is you're using this just in order to push. So I'm applying upper pressure, and I'm going to turn the water on very softly. But you just don't want to do it to any faucet. The trick of this is you need to find a faucet, and I'm going to try to do it with one hand. You don't want to use actually full force like this. I'm pushing upward slightly, but you don't want to crank it and push it so hard where you can actually rip the faucet off. That's why you should always try to grab with a thumb and try to use your pressure with the thumb, pushing down on the faucet onto the filter. You see what I'm saying? Let's take a look at another faucet for another example. Okay, what we have now is a different type of faucet. Obviously, it has a different spigot head. However, the problem with this one is, first of all, there's nothing to seal it to. And even if it did have a straight head on here, there's nothing that you can grab your thumb onto. And because the leverage power of you forcing it up could actually snap this and possibly snap your countertop. In this case, we got granite here. So you definitely don't want to push with both hands up without being able to support your spigot. So therefore, this is the wrong type of spigot. Let's go out to the garage. Here again, we have another example of a good type of faucet to prime your filters. And this goes for the black filters also in your Berkey. We just happen to be working with the fluoride arsenic filters. But any filter that you have to prime from Berkey, you want this style faucet, or the faucet that was in the bathroom where you can cup a thumb underneath it. Another good faucet would be our outdoor spigots. But with them, you're going to have to turn on the water softly. You don't want to blow out the internal filter system. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to put you in the sink, and hopefully you can see the fogginess of the water. So what I'm going to do is I am going to prime this filter utilizing this faucet. I am going to take this rubber grommet, because you can't get a seal with hard plastic against hard aluminum. So you got to put a rubber grommet in, which is supplied by Berkey. I am then going to push it. You'll notice now the holes line up. I'm going to push it, and utilizing my thumb, create a downward pressure and an upward pressure. I am going to then turn on the water softly. You might see a little spray out here. I'll try to adjust my grip to minimize that spray out. And hopefully what we're going to see from here is water come out from the bottom side. Hold it for about 20 seconds. The water should come out slightly milky in color. And that's all the the powders that are coming out of here through the manufacturing of this. So we're going to actually flush it this way for about 15-20 seconds. We're going to turn it over 15 or 20 seconds. Do it about 3 or 4 times on each side. It doesn't matter which side you start with. It doesn't matter which side you end with. Again, I'm just going to place the grommet, rubber grommet over here. Apply a little thumb force. And I might have to actually adjust my grip as my grip slips. But this is pretty much how you do it. It'll take a little bit as the water goes through the filter. And there it is. I don't know if you caught that puff of powder smoke. The water is kind of milky in color right now. And I'll just go for about 15-20 seconds. And that should be good. Again, I'm not turning on the water so hard to where it blows out the internal filtration system. Turn it upside down. Again, boom, boom. Now my hand is wet a little bit, so it's going to be harder to hold the... That's where I'm now going to have to do 2. Okay, so it went right through this time, milky in color. Again, I'm using my thumb as the leverage downward. I do not want to I don't want to force the faucet upwards and break the faucet. That was about 15 or 20 seconds. And this is also how you do the Black Berkey filters, by the way. See this, I don't want to actually push it upwards and break it. Very much like the kitchen one, you have to have something to grip your thumb and apply a downward force. It can't all be upwards, otherwise you're going to break your faucets. And it's coming out the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And I can see the water already getting clear. Turn it over again. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Water's already getting clear. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. My grip is slipping. 18, 19, and 20. The directions say 15 to 20 seconds. Frankly, if you can only hold it for 10 seconds, you just do the pass another 2 or 3 times. And I'm going to do it just one more in the direction of the water flow that the water filtration system will use. And that's wide diameter to small. I'm actually getting out of breath holding this thing. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slipping. Now let me readjust. There we go. 10, 11, 12, 13. I think it's primed enough. Most importantly, all the powder is out. You're going to do it to each filter in your filtration system. Mine's a 2-filter system. And so I'm going to do the second one. And I'll show you how to install this on the Berkey water filtration system. See you in a few minutes. Okay, one thing I did not mention before, but intended to. After you remove the cellophane with the arrow directions on it, But before you remove the blue caps, wash them off with your hands or a brand new sponge using dish soap. Rinse them off real good. Don't use an old sponge, something that might be contaminated. Another thing, the directions say to, when you install this, no more than 8 revolutions. Now, because I've done this before, I know it's hard. Well, sometimes it's actually easy to lose your count. So what I did is I scored this. I don't know if you could see that mark with a file or a saw. I would not recommend a magic marker or any kind of ink. And this way I can count the revolutions as it's going around, because there's no other markings on this filter to count the direction. And that's the direction we're going to be installing on the filter system. And I'm able to count how many times this mark goes by. But don't do it so deep and that you go through the filter. Just 1 or 2 times. Boom. Let's go install. Okay, just to give you a little context, what I'm going to do now. This upper half of the canister, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to turn it upside down. It's going to reveal the filters that are facing downwards. I'm going to do that in the sink so it doesn't get to be a big mess. Okay, so I got the top portion of the canister over here. And that's what it looks like inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it upside down. These 2 are plugs for additional filters. They're plugged up because I don't have a 4 filtration system. And what we're going to do is we're going to screw them on, these filters, onto this bottom head of the filter that you saw inside. They come in, they're tightened down by these plastic or nylon screws, but there's enough thread on here to where you screw this on. Now the good thing about Berkey heavy metal filter, the fluoride filters, is there's threads only in one side. Again, the water filtration is going to go from this side, the thicker side, to the thinner side. I'm just going to take it, locating. Oh, by the way, that rubber grommet, you can throw it away. No longer need it. So what you do is turn it until you know it catches. There, it caught. Now I'm going to count 8 revolutions from that score mark that I did with the file. Again, you can use whatever you want. You can use a butter knife, whatever you can get a little mark in there. 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it actually bottomed out at 7 3/4. It wouldn't go any further than that. I'm going to do the, I wouldn't even force it, by the way. That's good enough for me. I'm going to do the second filter. We're going to put this back in, just like this. It goes in, and then you're going to fill up the upper chamber with water. By the way, in order to change this into a 4-system filtration, all I need to do is take out those rubber grommets and buy 2 black filters. That'll allow me to filter water just, I would say, about 50% faster. So that's what it looks like. And all you do is pump it in, not pump it in, place it in, fill it with water, and you're good to go.